Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. This is the It's Your Healthy Lifestyle show hosted by the founder of this platform, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and myself, Roland Friedl. How important is your health and fitness to you? We show you how you can easily eat healthier every day, how you can improve your fitness and recover much quicker after your exercises and workouts. Families will learn how to optimize their children's health and nutrition. And finally, you will also hear how you live a long, healthy and fit life into your old age. Join us here on It's Your Healthy Lifestyle.
Hello, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. We are thrilled to have you here at USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and I am your host for our show today. It's Your Healthy Lifestyle. Today, we're going to be talking about healthy eating on the go. If you're traveling for business and you need to understand how can you still take care of yourself without going off the deep end because you're kind of frantically running around in between meetings or you're flying or traveling. Joining me is the star of our show, Mr. Roland Friedl. Let's welcome him and find out what he's been up to. Hi, Roland.
Hi, Dr. Jacalyn. Hello to our audience. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello.
Hello, hello. It's so nice to have you. We have a comment already from Elma Jimmy, a happy family. Yes, I think you're referring to the video there. Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Roland, you are traveling across Europe and you continue to amaze me, but you look so tan and fit and healthy. So you're a great person to be repping this program for sure. Tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing. Even though you're traveling, you're still able to help people. How do you do that?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, actually, I was always traveling around the globe, and since a little bit more than 2 years, and 4 months, I'm traveling with my motorhome through Europe. Well, what I'm doing, actually, I started my career in business. I had different businesses after I left the corporate world. In the corporate world, I had a very fast career. I became the youngest member of board of director. I left the corporate world to build my own stuff. So I was in different industry, nutrition. I was in technical stuff. I was in consulting stuff, and was in advertising. So I was in different industries. And as I always say, some business very successful. Some 2 of them failed, which was an amazing learning for me. And yeah, and the last years I was more in consulting, teaching stuff in different sales aspects, training leaders all over the globe. So I was working for the largest enterprises worldwide, like Xerox, OpenText, big insurance companies, banks. Actually, today I got a request from Sage. It's also a very big company. And so I was always running workshops face to face in hotels or at the venue at the client, and it changed to digital to online. So I do a lot of stuff online. This is a large house in Mallorca into my motorhome and travel around and work from a motorhome. So most of the thing is consulting. I also started men's work in 2020, so my 5th year now. I run, if somebody's interested, guys, with a man outside there, I run a men's online course for free every first and third Saturday. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I do a lot of, actually I do a lot of stuff. I'm building up digital communities at the moment. I'm learning a lot about digital communities. I am running my own video podcast, but just in German. So writing books. So yeah, a lot of stuff to do.
I love it. I love it. And as you know from traveling, and when I was in corporate, I travel quite a bit. It's so easy to fall into bad patterns, right? Because we make up all kinds of excuses. I don't have time to eat healthy. I'm at this business meeting. Then we have dinner afterwards and everybody's drinking and having desserts. And I have to be like everyone else. So were you able to pull yourself out of that at some point, or were you never in it?
Yeah, I was able to do. Yeah, I was able to do so. But to be honest, of course, sometimes I had, evenings when the training was really tough and I was exhausted and I was hungry and I need a reward, a hug, get some love. So I went, I don't know, to the Buster bar, or I had, I don't know, a lot of carbs and a dessert and some alcohol and wine and stuff like that. Yes, I had these phases too, to be honest. Of course I had. But most time I tried to follow my healthy routine. But I had days, to be honest. I had days I was really exhausted. I was hungry, and so I had some cravings. And sometimes I said, okay, who the fuck cares? Let's have some ice cream, or let's have some pasta, whatever it is. Yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember there were times when I'd be out usually with men. I worked with men a lot, and you'd be sitting around the table after dinner. And then because you had some wine, then you have to eat food because then you want to soak up the alcohol before you go to bed. Sometimes you eat pretzels, whatever it is, it's all bad. And then you have to get up, I don't know, 5:30 in the morning to get to the 7 a.m. meeting. You start eating again. And so we're here to help people, right? And to offer alternatives and ideas. One thing that came to mind for me is intermittent fasting. That might be a great way for people to manage what they're eating when they're traveling. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a huge fan of intermittent fasting. So I do 16 to 8 minutes. That means I do a 16-hour break between my last meal and my first meal on the next day. So 16 hours, sometimes 18 hours, but sometimes it's just 12 hours, depending on where I am, stuff like that. But mostly I do 16 to 8. So yeah, I love intermittent fasting. It's very helpful and it keeps you in good shape. You're not gaining weight. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And what I learned is also that I only eat when I'm hungry. Sometimes we just eat because we are bored, or as I mentioned before, we need a hug, some warm hug from a pasta or a pizza, whatever. But yeah, I try to do my best to stay healthy. So I always say, I have my cheat days too. But I guess 85% I eat very clean and healthy. Yeah, and it's possible on trips. It is possible. Not always easy, but as I always say, when the why is strong enough, you find a way how to do and what to do.
It's very true. I remember when I was in corporate, one of our new hires at a meeting was just talking about intermittent fasting. This is I'm going to say 10 years ago or so. And nobody there, including me, knew what he was talking about. And he just expressed that he only eats within a certain window of time and that he's very disciplined and structured. And we were kind of like, well, aren't you starving? I mean, don't you lack energy? And I know for myself, I'm not doing it right now, but I'm going to get back to it soon. I feel so good because I'm in control of what I'm doing. And I have an app on my phone. I think it's called Zero, and it tracks when I'm finished, if I said for 13 hours, 16 hours, 18, whatever it is. And I like that little green check mark that, I love getting those gold stars, but in this case, it's a green check mark. So I think that's a good way to be in control of yourself. Also, it's very empowering to do that intermittent fasting.
Absolutely. But as I said, it's something not easy. I remember because I was facilitating more than 20 years I've been facilitating trainings around the globe, and you have a breakfast in the morning, then you open the training, the workshop, then you have a coffee break with cakes or whatever and biscuits, then you go for lunch, then in the afternoon you have another coffee break with cakes and sweets, and then you go for dinner. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 5 times eating. And it's for free. You go there, and it's not easy to hold back. To be honest, it's not easy. But I said no, I don't feel good when I eat too much, especially the sweets one. And I always ask the managers when they book a hotel for the venues, for a sales training or leadership training, please ask the F&B, the food and beverage manager, to bring something, especially for lunch, something light, not heavy food, something light food, because it's also difficult for the delegates, sitting in the seminar room and you get full stomach and you get tired, more and more tired. So I always ask them to do that. But I have my own routine, so I didn't go for the coffee break. I had a coffee, but I had no biscuits in the coffee breaks. I had mostly for breakfast, only a little bit breakfast. I had for lunch, not very much, and I had a little bit more for dinner. That's what I was doing. But I have some funny stories, to be honest. I'm not at the moment. I do carnivore, so 4 weeks, 5 weeks carnivore, and then I go 4, 5, 6 weeks keto. So I do this since 3 years, and it helps me very much. But I remember when I was vegetarian or even vegan, when I was vegetarian, I was always asking, okay, can I have a special meal or something like that? Or when I was working and traveling. But it's a very good tip if you're a vegetarian, if you don't like meat at all. What I did many, many years, I was vegetarian for 4.5 years. I went to a steakhouse. It sounds a little bit weird, but I don't know how it's in the US. But here in Europe, when you go to a steakhouse, they have a huge, amazing salad bar. So I always had a huge salad bar, sometimes a baked potato. So I went to steakhouses. So as a vegetarian, it was very easy. When I was a vegan, I was an early vegan because I wanted to try it out. So vegan was not very trendy. So there was no vegan restaurants, no vegan cooking. It was a little bit more difficult, but it was easy. And I have a funny story, Dr. Jacalyn. I don't know, it was 12 years ago. I was facilitating a workshop on a kickoff meeting. So a huge, big company, a Canadian company, they had a kickoff meeting in Europe. And they invited me, besides their kickoff meeting, to do some one-day sales training for, 400 people in the room for the sales. And then afterwards for their core management, or for 40 managers, to do a short one-day management training. And afterwards, because everyone went home, the 10 top managers invited me to stay with them, and we went to a 5-star hotel and a fancy restaurant. And I was vegan at the time. And the funny thing is, every one of these managers ordered a huge steak, porterhouse steak or a tomahawk or whatever. And then it came to me. The waiter came to me and I said, "What's your order, sir? What do you want to wish?" I said, "I am a vegan." And and everyone, all the men looked at me like I'm an alien. What the fuck? Here I serve the best steaks. You're vegan. So I asked the waiter, and the waiter said, he's gonna check with the chef. And he came back and said, no problem, sir. We're gonna prepare an amazing dinner for you. And then we started with starters. And all the guys got the huge steaks. They looked very juicy, to be honest. They're huge steaks. And I got my vegan dishes. And it was delicious. It was delicious. And it was decorated with flowers and stuff like that. So the creation was just amazing. And all the other guys like, "Oh my gosh, this looks great. Amazing. This looks amazing. How does it taste? Can I taste? So when I did it, I shared my whole plate with the other guys. So I had to order a new one for myself. And everybody was saying, "It's cool." But in the beginning, they looked at me like an alien. And you have to have the balls and the confidence and say, "Okay, I go my way," because at this time vegan was my way. And so I do it because I love it. It's good for me. And I to be honest, still today, now everybody's vegan or woke, and I'm a carnivore. I order my steak or whatever. I do what is good for myself, and to be honest, I don't care what other people think about me. My clients, my friends, no, it's me. It's my food. You don't have to taste it. I don't try yours. So yeah, find out what is really important for you, what is helpful for you, what is good for you, and then do whatever you have to do. Do it. Order whatever you want to order. Don't care what other people think about you. And to be honest, I don't drink alcohol. I drink alcohol very few occasions, but I never drink alcohol. And most of the time, I don't drink alcohol when I'm out with my clients. I remember I was working many years when I was working for the big X, not the Twitter, the Xerox, worldwide, and all my, especially my UK colleagues, facilitators, they were heavy beer drinkers. I never had beer with them, so I always would have a small glass of wine and water, and they looked at me, you don't drink, or said, oh, you're an ex-alc. I said, no, I'm not. I don't have an issue with alcohol. It's just not part of my diet. That's it. So stay strong.
Discipline and control. I love that story that you just went your way and did what you wanted to do. And I think you mentioned something earlier that also makes a big difference when you mentioned about managers and leadership. I remember when I was in corporate, I was calling on a major pharmaceutical company, and their sales reps were very attractive, very well dressed, and typically concerned about their weight. They're at the gym first thing in the morning. And so they had asked our team, because we were planning the event, they had asked if we could have healthy options and granola, and maybe have someone teaching yoga in the morning. And instead of putting all the cookies and cakes out on the break, put out apples, bananas, oranges, whatever. And it really made a difference. And people were alert in the meeting, because to your point, after you have that lunch, you're kind of like, oh, passed out. I think that's why they have the conference room so cold, so that people can stay awake because they just finished eating a big meal. So corporate culture, I think, can also make a big difference.
Absolutely. This was always a discussion with the top management or the guy who was in charge to organize this event. Mostly it's the HR department. And I would say, okay, please, not too many food, not too much food, not heavy food, because people get tired. And it's not about the food, for the workshop. It's about the content that people learn, people improve. So please, if it's possible, talk to the F&B manager of the hotel where you book the rooms or the catering or whatever, and talk, you want a light, healthy stuff. We only had issues with the French people. Sorry, French. I love you. I love your country, to be honest. I love it. I love your culture. I love your food. But French people, I will never forget it. I was delivering a training in the UK. Yeah, it was in the UK at the venue of a huge client, and they flew in people from France, and we had this on the venue. So they had, they have they had a restaurant was integrated in the venue, so only for employees to go there. They had some, for a very reasonable price, very good food. But it didn't serve alcohol for sure, because, when you're working in the canteen, you don't get alcohol. And the French people stood up and said, hey, we want red wine. I said, yeah, but there is no alcohol at all. It's the company says, no, but we want alcohol. They said alcohol. We want red wine because we drink always red wine for lunch. And so I was talking to the manager of the venue. Which actually was the headquarters of this company. I said, no, we don't have any alcohol. We don't serve any alcohol for our employees. Yeah, but your French colleagues want alcohol. Why? I said, no, it goes for. So you know what happened? All the French guys stood up and said, okay, we fly home. It was a 5-day training. On the first day, we fly home. If you don't get red wine, we fly home. Bye-bye. So the UK manager was running and organizing red wine because he didn't want to lose the French salespeople.
So did they get the red wine?
Yeah, they got it.
What happened after they started drinking the red wine? Was their performance going downhill, or were they
No, they're used to it. And to be honest, they only had one class. Nobody was drunk or something like that. They get used because they have just one glass of red wine. That's part of their lunch and their dinner. They're not heavy drinkers, just one. That was okay. And I understand this because UK people, the English, they are very heavy drinkers. So I understand that they don't serve alcohol there, because I don't know if you've been to the UK, but in the UK, the pubs, they close at around midnight, so they start drinking or 11 p.m. So they drink very fast. And another story, I was delivering many times, facilitating trainings in Ireland. Beautiful country, amazing, friendly people. And my friend, and to be honest, the food in the hotel was not really good. So we, as a trainer, we have been a trainer team about 6-7 people. So we said, okay, the delegates eat eat at the venue at the hotel, and we take a taxi and we go downtown, and in Dublin. So waiting for the taxi 10 minutes. So we called 2 taxis. Or actually, the concierge in the hotel called 2 taxis for the waiting time. I guess all my British colleagues, they had 2 pints of beers, boom. And then we said, and I was hungry. So where are you going? Yeah, there's a nice Indian restaurant. I know a nice Indian restaurant. Okay, so we took the taxi. We get out of the taxis, town, and Dublin. And they said, yeah, but before we go for dinner, we go in a pub because the pub closes at 11 o'clock. So when we come out of the restaurant, the pub is closed. We don't get alcohol. So we went to the pub. It was every day. It was the same procedure. So we went to the pub until 11 or 11:30 when they closed down. And then 11:30 or around midnight, we went to Indian restaurant was still was open. So always drinking before because the British people have been so scared that they miss out the alcohol.
And then would everybody show up for work the next day?
Yeah, they showed up, but some guys not really in the best conditions, to be honest.
No wonder.
Yeah.
So when we think about healthy eating while traveling, what about protein shakes? Maybe, and I've seen this before. Travel directors would bring a little blender and they'd make their own things, or they'd bring things you could put into a microwave. What do you think about bringing your own food?
Well, as long as you take it, don't put it in the microwave, it's okay. But microwave is not the best way. You're destroying everything. But anyway, yeah, I guess we had this discussion before. So because I was flying a lot, especially on the airplane, the food is not really good, and it's pre-prepared. So it takes sometimes it's hours and keep it warm, so there has no minerals, no vitamins. When when I've been on a flight, I always brought my own protein bars. I was snacking protein bars. Very healthy ones, vegan ones. Actually, I got it from, or I still have it from a company called Juice Plus. Protein shakes, yeah, sometimes, but I try to avoid them. Meaning, what I'm meaning is, just bringing all the stuff with you when I'm traveling. Is I always called the hotel and said, hey, I'm facilitating a training, I'm running a workshop there. My diet plan is this and this and this. Is it okay for you? Can you handle this? Is this okay? I want this for breakfast and this for lunch and this for is this okay? Yes or no? If no, let me know. No issue. Then I bring my own protein shakes. But most hotels have been very friendly, and they always try to do their best to satisfy my needs. So I always was calling in advance. I always called in advance about the food. I always call if they have a gym and if they have a steam bath or a sauna or indoor pool. And when we talk about nutrition, it's also about sports, because you mentioned it before. This pharmaceutical guy reps always in good shape. I was always in the morning at 6, 5:30, 6 in the morning in the gym. They always ask the concierge, can you open the gym earlier for me in the morning? I guess I was the only one. Sometimes very few occasions, one of the managers showed up, but mostly, you go to a nice hotel, you have a gym, you have a sparring, and people don't use it. They go to the workshop, they eat and drink, and that's all what they do. I always was in the gym in the morning, and I always was in the spa after the workshop before a light lunch. So it's all about nutrition. It's all about working out, or maybe you can ask at the reception, the concierge, when you're a runner, is there a running area that I can run or whatever can I do? So there are always options to do something that is beneficial for your health. It's food and it's working out and then relaxation. But food has an amazing impact, we all know.
For sure. And I was right there, not at the same gym with you, but I was always at the gym in the mornings as well. And that was a big priority. I would find out, do they have a jogging path? Is there a yoga studio nearby? So I would find, especially on the pharmaceutical events, that the gym was packed because people had the same mindset that they wanted to work out. So what we would get the hotel to keep the gym open 24 hours so that people could go in whenever it is they wanted to go in. So a question I do have for you, because a number of people I know actually eat 5, 6, 7 times a day because they're lifting weights and they're not bodybuilders, but they're concerned about building muscle. So first of all, what are your thoughts about having maybe 3 protein shakes a day plus your meals and the snacks? So you could be eating 7 or 8 times a day. That's the first question. And the second question is, how do you incorporate that if you're traveling on business?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, when you're really working out hard, when you really heavy weightlifting, of course you need more calories intake. Of course, you have a much higher calorie intake, and then you're eating 4, 5, 6 times a day. That makes absolutely sense. And And when you're traveling, it might be difficult. So shakes can be very helpful. Shakes and bars. So shakes and bars can be very, very helpful. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I only eat twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, but mostly twice a day. Sometimes just one meal a day. But I'm not. I'm working out, but I'm not heavy lifting. I do a little bit to stay in shape and stay flexible. And I want to avoid to get any back pain or something like that. So I'm lifting weights to stay in shape, but not to shred myself like crazy. So for me, the calorie intake is okay. But when you're a heavy lifter and you're on a business trip, yeah, you make sure that you get all the protein and ask the hotel what they can deliver. And if is a poor option, then bring your own stuff with you. I had this too. I had my shaker with me, I had my Juice Plus Complete with me, I had my bars with me. Yeah, bring your stuff. If it's important for you, do it. Yeah. And what was the second question?
Oh, just how do you have all those small meals when you're traveling on business? Because you're sitting in meetings, right? So you'd have to have a bar. That's what it would be, probably.
Yeah, I do have bars, and also on the airplane, on the public transportation when I'm traveling, and I always had my shaker with me with the powder, and but no liquids because otherwise it gets a little bit bumpy. So I only had the first trip. I always had the powder inside, and then I asked when I'm on a plane, for example, or I arrive at a hotel, can I have some water, juice, or oat drink, or whatever? And then I put it in, I shake it, and I drink it. Yeah. As I said, there's always a way. But sometimes it's a little bit inconvenient. Sometimes, but it's important.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd love to go over and get it because it's right there. But when there were places that I was going and they didn't have a large gym, they had something very small. So I purchased my own TRX. I'm just going to go over and get it. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Yeah, for it. I also have my TRX here with my motorhome. I have the Navy SEALs edition. I love my TRX because you can use it outdoor. You can also indoor. You can mount it on the hotel door inside. Yeah, and you can work out inside. Yeah, I love it.
So this is the part that you would just throw over the door, and then you have the loop, and then you have the straps. I'm actually certified to teach TRX, and then you have the handles and the foot cradle. So it's a full body workout, and I know you use it outside. Tell us about that.
I use it outside. I have also TRX, but I have the Navy SEALs edition. It's a little bit stronger, and you can use it outside and when it's raining or whatever. I love it. What I do is when I walk my dog in the mountains or in a forest, whatever, I bring my TRX. It's in a small backpack. And so I walk my dog fast, and when I see a nice tree or whatever where I can put it on a tree, and then I do some workout for a few minutes. Then I continue walking my dog. Then I find another nice place, and I mount it again, and we do some workout. So I do always a combination of walking my dog and working out with my TRX. Just one thing, when you use an hotel room, because it happens to me sometimes, not all rooms doors close very good. So just not only close the door, also lock the doors. Because it happens sometimes, I was working out heavily on my TX, and then the door opened, bash, and I was crashing down, and I hit my back head. So because when you mount it, the spot you showed up, Dr. Jacalyn, put it on the door, you close the door. I learned also to lock the door so the door is really closed.
I had the same thing. Sometimes I would go flying. And so I know even in the house, there's not enough room from where the doorway is to the staircase. So I can't use it in this house. And it's kind of depressing. But I did get, as I mentioned, I did get certified to teach TRX. And where I am now, they have plenty of them. And I do it as often as possible. It's a full body workout. And then I'll go and lift weights after that.
Yeah. It happened to me that once I was in a hotel, it was a very small room, no gym at all. It was not a good place. And what the heck I'm doing? So I made some push-ups, but not plank on the floor because there was a space. So my hand was on the bed, my push-ups. I make my squats, stuff like that. So just a little bit, better than nothing, because I couldn't go outside. It was heavy raining, and sometimes it was a mixture of rain and snow. So, but it's always an option to do just a little bit. A little bit is always better than nothing.
something that I used to do, and I don't remember if I was in my 40s or my 50s, but if I was away on business and you couldn't get into the gym, for example, if they only had X number, 3 treadmills and they're all being used and the weight equipment's being used, I would literally go into the stairwell if it was like a high-rise building, and I'd run steps up and down.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't travel that much anymore, but I wouldn't do it now for safety reasons, although I don't know, maybe they have cameras in all the stairwells, but that's a great workout, running stairs.
Yeah. By the way, climbing stairs, I try to avoid elevators when I'm in a building, so I'm walking most of the time. Yeah, it's also good. It's a good workout, just walking up. Yeah. So my advice is move how much whenever it's possible. Just walk. Our body's designed to walk, so don't avoid elevators, for example. Yeah. Or also on the airport, you have this horizontal elevator. No, just walk. It's healthy walking. Sometimes I go on this how they call it, this lifts. When you go faster on an airport. I use it because when I'm in a hurry, but I don't, people jump on it and then they stand. I don't understand this. They're standing. I remember, I've been living for 14 years in Spain, and I was traveling twice a week at least. I was flying, and Spanish people, they go on this thing and then they stand, and you're in a hurry, so you use it too because you can walk faster. But always people around. I never understood this. So yeah, try to avoid elevators. Walk as much as possible. And you always find a spot to do some outdoor stuff when it's not cold outside, or go to a gym, or sometimes I always ask the hotel if there's no gym available. I just ask him, is there a gym around? Can you organize for me maybe a discount on a day pass or bars or something like that? So that's always an option. Just ask. I know that receptions are always very friendly and trying to help you.
Very true. Something else I want to offer, which I've never done, but I've seen other people do. They buy inflatable dumbbells. So they look like, floats that you would have in the pool or in the water, and then they can fill them, I think, up to 20 pounds. So this way, in your suitcase, in your bag, you just have a small thing, float that you're gonna inflate, and then you could also use it if it's 20 pounds or 15 or 10. You could use it as a kettlebell and do kettlebell swings. You can do planks, as you mentioned. You can do with a chair. You can do dips. I mean, there's a ton of things that you can do, even if it's just in your room.
Absolutely. So this inflatable dumbbells, you fill it with water, or
you fill it with water. I mean, it looks like a dumbbell, but it's a float. It's like you could. So, of course, I don't know it's going to flow with 10 or 20 pounds of water in it, but it's made out of rubber. That's what I should say.
Okay.
And it takes up no space in your suitcase. You just fill it with water, and then you use it, and then you empty it before you leave.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So,
something
else I would travel with. Oh, sorry. Something else I would travel with, which I can get them right now. They're right here on my bike. Is these weighted hula hoops. So you put this on your arm, and then you do this. So they don't take up that much space. They actually don't make this one anymore. This was by Canyon Hoops, not a paid spokesperson, but I think they went out of business. But you can find them, and it makes a big difference, I think, for your shoulders and your arms, to just burn calories. So I would look at my watch, my Apple Watch, and if I needed to burn 20 calories, I would do it for, a minute and a half. So it adds up.
Yeah, it's all about it. At the end of the day, it's a summary of what you've done or what you have not done. Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, the biggest thing is to look at what you're putting in your mouth. So I have a confession, which is horrible, but the last, I would say 3 weeks, I started eating caramels covered in chocolate with sea salt. And today I went out for a walk, 2 for 120 calories. And I happened to look at how much fat is in there. So when I was out for my walk today, I said, that's it. When I come back, I'm taking the rest of them and I'm putting them down the garbage disposal. I'm not eating them anymore. It's just empty, stupid calories. And what I've been finding is, since I've been eating the sugar, I'm craving sugar. And where I was doing the intermittent fasting and not eating breakfast, now I'm eating breakfast. So it's out of control. So now I said, that's it. No more sugar. And I wrote it down and I circled it, and I'm saying it now every day, twice a day.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I want to tell a story because I came today to Denmark. So I'm on my way to Norway and Scandinavia. So I came to Denmark and I'm just on the northwest coast, beautiful area here. And I checked in for just for 1 day on a camping site. And the owner's very nice. And I said, yeah, Roland, please let me know until 8 p.m. What you want for breakfast, because I order in the evening and then the bakery store is bringing fresh bread or rolls or croissants, whatever you want. I said, no, thank you. I don't eat any carbs. He looked at me. What do you mean you don't eat any carbs? I said, no, I don't eat carbs. Occasionally I do, but I try to avoid. I said, oh, that's true. What are you eating? So we had a discussion about what I'm eating. I said, really? This is healthy? I said, look at me. I said, yeah, that's true. But the media says something different. I said, yeah, you believe the media or you look at me. Yeah, true. Yeah, true. And then I walked my dog to the beach. There's an amazing beach there. And there's a truck and the guy is selling fish. Most of the fresh fish, but mostly smoked fish. Amazing range of different smoked sea fish. And so I bought some smoked sea fish because I love it. And he said, yeah, the bread is over there. I said, no bread. I don't eat carbs. And look at me. But what are you eating with the fish? Potatoes? No, carbs, just the fish. Is it pure? I said, yeah. So we had another discussion. He looked at me. And, it was a guy like this. I looked at me. I said, but you only eat fish and meat and cheese and eggs and butter. I said, yeah. Is it healthy? And I said, I'm sorry, guy, but look at your body, look at my body. What do you think?
What was the answer on that?
He looked at me and I said, oh my gosh, you're right.
Well, I think something else that's important to mention, because sometimes I get into my head with this too, is that wherever you are now in terms of your muscle mass or your weight or whatever it is, that's where you are today. You don't have to stay there. You can decide how you're going to eat. Like I just said, I'm not eating sugar anymore, and I wrote it down, and I'm telling it now. And I think because I'm with other people and they like to eat sugar, but that's no excuse. So for so long, for years, I didn't eat sugar. I know I've said this before, and then I went back to it, but it's not healthy, and I'm not eating it anymore. So today's the day that I get to start again.
Absolutely. The best day to start is always today, not tomorrow.
Right.
Because when you're procrastinating, that's not working, And some people, I years ago I was the same. I said, yeah, but I have bought this sweets and my fridge is full with this. I don't want to put it in the trash, so I finish this, and when I finish this, then I start eating healthy, and it never worked. To be honest, it never worked. It never worked. So the best thing is you don't have to put it in the trash. Maybe you have neighbors or somebody else said, hey, I have a lot of stuff. I don't eat it anymore. You want it? It's fresh. Why not? And it was interesting. I had a phone call yesterday with a guy I met on Saturday before I left Austria. He runs an amazing retreat center, an amazing guy, a beautiful soul. And he has a lot of pain. He's suffering from different stuff. It's all inflammatory, and he's eating a lot of stuff, meaning a lot of carbs. But he's eating pure stuff, so he's grinding his own. What is it? Yeah, his own wheat and he's baking his own bread and stuff like that. So he tries to eat healthy, but he's eating the wrong stuff. And I explained to him, stop eating any carbs to get rid of the inflammatory. So eat meat and stuff like that. And so we had a conversation about this. And then he said, yeah, do you think it's healthy? Do you think it's good when I only eat this? And try it out from 1 month, try it out. And start. And I said, yeah, but I bought so much stuff. I have rice, I have chickpeas, I have lentils. What should I do with this? Should I finish it and then start? I said, from my own experience, when you do this like this, you will never start because you always have an excuse. So yeah, but I can't throw it away. I said, don't throw it away. Call a friend who loves to eat this and say, hey, I have this and this and this and this. Do me a favor. I want to change my diet because I need to do. I'm suffering from my inflammation and it's really painful. Do me a favor, buy me some organic grass-fed meat worth, I don't know, whatever is your stuff worth, and it's okay for you. And I give you in change, I give you my chickpeas, my lentils, my rice, whatever. Don't throw it away. I said, hey, mine, that's a good idea. I said, yeah, of course, you don't have to throw it away, but please start today, not tomorrow.
Don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today, right? Isn't that the expression?
Yeah, find a solution. There's always a solution out there, but people don't think. I don't know. People don't think.
It's very true. Well, my friend, we've come to the end of this particular episode of It's Your Healthy Lifestyle. And coming up, I'm very excited for you. And congratulations that the Mallorca Connection is our next show. And it's 100 episodes, which is amazing. If you think about how many episodes you've done on the other shows that we've had, I don't know, you're probably up to 1,000 episodes here.
I have no idea about plenty. And we started, I guess, almost 3 years ago. So before the official launch, we started already when I've been living in Mallorca. I remember this, yeah. It was always fun and a pleasure. Sometimes it was an issue with the network, but yeah, it's always fun. I love it. And I love to contribute and share a little bit of my experience and hopefully to our audience, I can bring value to you, to be a more healthier, a more happier, more joyful lifestyle. That's my mission. To support you and to become a role model. And it's not about finger pointing. It's about telling my own story, not to impress you, just to tell you it's on a daily basis you can do something. And be patient with yourself, be patient with the progress, but keep going, and don't give a fuck what other people are talking to you. Sorry.
Roland, you've alluded to some of the ways that you can work with people, but can you share overall how you can help people?
Well, mostly I do coaching. Mostly I do coaching in group coaching or one-to-one coaching in different areas. I did a lot, as I mentioned before in the intro, I did a lot of business coaching. I still do, but not that much anymore. But I do a lot of one-to-one coachings, especially what we're talking about in the next show, in the TMC, the Mallorca Connection, Wireless Life Rock. So I'm coaching people who want to have the same lifestyle like myself, meaning traveling and working remotely. I spend a lot of time on a beautiful island in the Mediterranean Sea. I spend many months in Bali working from there in different spots, South America, wherever. So and I know that most people, especially in their 40s, 50s, they started thinking about, especially with the pandemic and starting in 2020, is this everything? So a lot of people want to change their lifestyle. And I'm supporting them, and I give them tips of what they can do. Some people have no idea what kind of business they can build up. Some people have an idea about the business, but they don't know how to do it remotely and stuff like that. So I coach them on that and many other things. You'll find everything on my website. It's available in English and German. It's just my name, rolandfriedl.com. Yeah, and you're more than happy to contact me. It's all about sharing and caring, and we can all learn from each other. I'm a huge fan of building up digital communities and where we can all learn from each other and support each other. I guess it's an area, we're coming in an area about finishing all this ego, everyone is doing his own stuff. It's more about working together, supporting together, being less competitive. We all know where it ended up. It ended up in a mess. The world is in a mess. We have wars. Nothing is better. The environment is down. It's a mess. It's a really mess. And I think we really should make a change and work together and as communities. Yeah. And we can do this digital. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here. We're going to put your banner up one more time for people who want to get in touch with you, rolandfriedl.com. And your email is office@rolandfriedl.com. So I will see you very shortly, my friend, for our next episode.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And to our audience, if you want to learn something about having a wireless life, meaning being independent and free and working from the most beautiful places, join us in a few minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for watching or listening. If you're not aware, we are going to 100,000 subscribers on both of our YouTube channels. So this is our mission. Our goal is to do it by September 15th, and we'd love to have your support. So since we created this graphic just a little while ago, the numbers have already gone up. So today we're currently at 38,848, and we've picked up over 945 subscribers in the last 28 days. So we would love for you to go to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV. Also our second YouTube channel, which these numbers are out of date, that's Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and subscribe to both of our channels so that you can continue this journey with us as we continue to add new people all the time. So again, our first channel, which is USA Global TV and Radio, and our second channel, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Please subscribe to both of them. We truly do appreciate each and every one of you. All right, we're going to close out now for our next show, which is coming up. As you know, the Mallorca Connection, the 100th episode. We look forward to seeing you there. Bye for now. USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents our partner and sponsor, Mr. Philip Sykes and the British School of Excellence. Building confidence, changing lives. And now, proudly presenting the Polished Professional.
On a transformative journey with the British School of Excellence's comprehensive suite of masterclasses, crafted to elevate your professional and personal life. 8 outstanding modules will elevate you to the next level. Module 1, Exploring Life's Purpose, delves into the depths of self-discovery, guiding you to chart your unique path to fulfillment and success. Module 2, Mastering Professional Presence and Confidence. This masterclass is a deep dive into the art of self-assurance and commanding presence, which is essential for standing out in today's competitive landscape. Module 3, Learn the secrets of visual impact, how to curate a personal style that amplifies your professional brand. Module 4, Mastering Professional Etiquette and Communication Excellence, navigating the nuances of corporate interaction with grace and tact. Module 5, Elegance in Eloquence. We impart powerful techniques to captivate and persuade any audience with your oratory skills. Module 6, Unlock the potential of your emotional intelligence, EQ, and harness the ability to connect, empathize, and lead with emotional savvy. Module 7, Mastering DISC, building a gateway to understanding behavioral styles, fostering better personal and professional relationships. Module 8, Mastery in Dining Etiquette, building your confidence to perfect the subtleties of dining with finesse, enhancing your social savviness at any table. Step into the Polished Professional program where poise, elegance, and excellence aren't just taught, they're instilled for life. Join us to redefine your potential and polish your professional edge.
To learn more, go to thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. The British School of Excellence are investors in people. Let us invest in you.